Okay, so here I am. My allergies are acting up, man, and I am out of allergy pills. Hang on, let me see if I can turn this up. Oh, it's right here. So, yeah, so I'm out of allergy pills. So I'm gonna be blowing my nose and shit because it's 10 a.m. and I'm gonna take a shower and all that and go out and get stopped by the pharmacy and get some shit. But anyway, here we are with a playlist of two videos sent by a viewer. It looks like they're both about Steve Harvey's show. And so we're just going to play it. Here we go.
Traditionally, assertive men are viewed as leaders, but assertive women are viewed as bitches. Juanita, is this still true in 2015?
I have to say, sadly, it still is true. I think there's a difference between being assertive and aggressive. I mean, when you see an assertive, strong woman, the first thing that some men want to do is tear her down by calling her the B word. It's unfortunate because I think we can be strong, capable leaders without having to have that perception of us.
Okay, Sarah, do you agree?
I agree they do feel that, assertive, strong women are bitches. And I mean, that's their opinion. The whole thing of it all is that men are going to be intimidated by a strong, assertive woman. And they don't want to say that, but that's what it is.
Joella.
Well, I would like to say that I don't mind the word bitch. I think that it's a word that we should take back. I'm a bitch and I'm proud of it. I go for what I want. I get what I need done. And that's not keeping me from moving up in my business. It's not keeping me from my rights as a performer. It's not keeping me from being with men or being satisfied. It's like any word. It was a word that's used to bring us down. And it no longer should. It's a word we should take back and be proud that we're strong, aggressive women and say, yes, I'm a bitch.
I would not be proud of anybody
sitting over there single with all the other single ladies.
At all. That would not make me proud.
What she wants in life. An assertive woman knows what she wants in her personal and professional life, and she should ask for that when she wants to. And she shouldn't worry about someone calling her a bitch.
It's how you present yourself.
If you're calling other people like, oh, you need to do this for me, blah, 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 that's demanding.
It's one thing giving orders, and it's one thing working with your subordinates.
Let me hear what this guy says.
I would never have anybody call my wife something like that. And if she would call herself something like that, that would be very disrespectful. Yeah. So I understand you're trying to take the power back from the word, nothing against that, but it still is what it is. I mean, you can look at it on the screen and you see how it's addressed. And I think people still see it that same way. And if a man said that to you, you would be very disrespected and feel very offended by that.
Yeah, and I think that,
All right, real quick. And all right, now let's be real about this shit, man. So, okay, we all know bitches are stupid, all right? Now, all them bitches sitting over there single. All of them single mom, single. Now, none of them keep a man. So what do women do? If instead of ever doing the one thing that would actually show some progress in women's growth on a whole, if women would actually accept, oh, maybe I'm doing something wrong, they probably would end up on the show in the first place. All right, but this is the majority of women. They can't do that. There's like a biological fucking mental wall in that shit that keeps them from doing it. So they got to blame men some kind of way. So it's a man's fault, right? They give them all these strong, independent women over there single, and why? Because they strong and independent. They don't need no man, except when they want a man. Now I want a man, but then I want a man between the hours of 2 and 5 and 4 and 2 and 8 and 6, with all hours subject to change based on how I feel. See, this is what happens. This is what happens when a society has ended up believing that women are these fucking magical, superpowered creatures just because some of them can be skinny and take a bath. That they automatically know how to manage and handle shit on a mental level. They don't. They telling you right here they don't know how to do it, because when they at work, it all works out fine. When they go home, they can't keep a man. So if they knew how to juggle it, they would know how to keep a man at home. But these women, they don't know how to keep one. Point blank. All right? Now, where I was going with this, the reason why I originally paused it is so let's like I said, let's think about it in a logical way. if a man's confident, that's good. If a woman's confident, that's bad, which is not true. But that if you let a woman tell it, it's a certain type of woman. Like for instance, these women right here is bad. It don't matter. And look at them. It don't matter what they look like. They all around They are all around in physical quality. The two in the middle are hotter, and the two on the outside are notter. Right? It don't matter. But it don't matter what they look like. As soon as they start talking and you see them be them for real, it's gonna come out. But damn, I need my allergy. I ran out of allergy pills, man. And I just seen that shit this morning. So for these same women, see, how do I phrase this properly? Well, it's just the thing. Women. Okay, it's gonna come down to this. Women cannot handle not being the best at 100% everything. If woman cannot mentally come to the conclusion that she will be 100% the best and 100% of the time, she's going to be mad and depressed and sad. And I'll tell you the reason why that is because, see, when they was fucking 14, 16, 17, all these women had some guy who would chase them around all the time and worship the ground she walked on, right? And that guy would have stayed around for months to years. And see, women, they got that shit confused with, I can be perfect to somebody. So since I can be perfect to this little beta chump, I'll be perfect to the man I want. And I'll be 100% perfect for him. But see, what happens is she gets with that guy and she will not be 100% perfect. And that's how they end up mad, angry, frustrated, and they end up on shows like this. And like I said, look at them. The physical quality of all of them, they're all they go. The physical quality goes. Let's just be real. I'm not trying to talk shit about them, but the physical quality ranges from I say about a 2 to a. You also got to remember, like they done up in makeup and shit. And I'm generous with my points, but I would give them anywhere from about a 2 to a solid 8.5. I say the one in yellow is probably about the best one. But you also got to remember, they done seen stylists and shit to make them look their best for TV. So you got to add that because if she looked like that every day, I give her about an 8.5. Now I say the one in yellow is probably the best one, 8. The one on the right is a little lower. I give her about a 7.5. And the other two, they fall down below the 5 category, right? So they all over the place. The physical looks don't matter. Because each one of those women have their own demographic of guy that's chasing them and that they're chasing. You see, so it doesn't matter what they look like in this context. But at the end of the day, they all had some guy. Every one of those women had a guy who chased them, who worshiped the ground she walked on, chased her for years, and she never had time for him, right? But they get that, like women get that part confused. They see that and say, oh, I could be perfect for him. Poindexter, that's what Tom Likas used to say. Poindexter, I could be perfect. Poindexter sees me as a goddess. Poindexter sees me as perfection. So I can be perfect. I'm perfect in every way. And they start to get, a lot of women, they start to develop this shit for real. So then they try to go out and find the man they want. And then they want that same response from Poindexter, from the man they want. And the man they want is always going to be better than them, right? Because that's just how a woman works. A woman always wants a man who's better than them. So that man's going to be better than her. He's going to see all her flaws and not be impressed. And then that's going to throw her, she's going to spiral into depression and anger and all this shit. And then that's usually where they take different paths. Some women just go, okay, well, I'll accept that I'm not worthy and worship his balls because he's still better than me. Or other women, they end up like this. The majority of the time, that's what's going to happen. Now, again, because I keep going on side rants, if we want equality, every topic that would ever come up like this, right? So strong, independent women usually end up single. Strong and independent usually translates into single and angry because the scenario I just told you about, being a goddess in Poindexter's eyes, but being, very flawed and the man that she actually wants, aka better than her. that usually sends them spiraling down into anger, hatred. You know, anger, hatred, frustration. Strong, independent usually translates into angry and upset. Right? That's just what it usually translates into. But now, let's flip it. Let's say in Bizarro world, let's say these bitches watch a Steve Harvey and Bizarro world, and it was a show of men saying, well, if she's emotional, she's strong. If men are emotional, he's a fucking faggot. Like, let's just be real about that shit. Because, okay, that's what women are going to see you. If you're overly emotional and diving too deep into your feelings and diving too deep into trying to get her to follow you and shit, in her mind, she is clearly, that's what she's saying to herself. This dude is a negative feminine dude. As negatively feminine as you can get. And that's the derogatory. That's what she's saying in her head. If you come around on some, oh, I just love The Notebook. Don't you just love the movie Cinderella? How she gets that dress. You think she want to fuck that? You think she wants that dude to climb onto her and fuck her and like Lana Rhodes? You think she want to drink his piss? No, she don't want to drink his piss. She wants that motherfucker who don't care. But it's the same thing. And it would be like these men who are overly emotional getting mad at women because the women don't like them because they're overly emotional. And women will just go, oh, well, I don't care. See, once again, this is why you don't listen to women. This is why you don't listen to this shit. Don't listen to it. And I mean, don't take it serious. I'd say that.
That, you know, assertive, strong women are bitches. And
yeah,
I mean, that's their opinion. The whole thing of it all is that men are going
you need to do this for me. Blah, blah, blah. That's demanding.
It's one thing giving orders, and it's one thing working with your subordinates.
Let me hear what this guy says.
I would never have anybody call my wife something like that, and if she would call,
bro, look, just for the fact that you went on the Steve Harvey show to sit in the audience, that's a loss for you, bro. You done lost so hard at that point. Like, the fact that you went on the Steve Harvey show and sat in the audience is a loss. So we just gonna head fast forward through this shit. Wait, look, he's still talking because look, he's still talking because if I had to guess, they're hoping. Okay. See, look, this is the reality of shit like this, right? See, because like I say so many times before, women follow whatever they think is valuable, right? And on a deeper level, who places value? Who says anything is valuable from the start? Men do, right? Think about that shit. Women will follow whatever they think is going to be valuable in some way, right? Now, on the next deeper level, whoever makes anything value to begin with, men, all right? Either I said this cologne is worth some money, or bitches know that men like it, so they gonna get this cologne to try to please the man. Either way, women follow whatever they deem valuable. But at the deeper level, men declare what is valuable from the start. So they have to follow us. They can't not follow you. And the look in their eyes is, oh, well, he's a beta bitch. He ended up in the Steve Harvey's audience. He is an inferior to Steve Harvey. So he must tell us what we want to hear. So let's just hear him out. Because you see that that damn near blind faith they have in him. Like how they look at that blind, like they are fully tuned into him and shit. That's what that is.
Word, nothing against that, but it still is what it is. I mean, you can look at it on the screen and you see how it's addressed. And I think people still see it that same way. And if a man said that to you, you would be very disrespected and feel very offended by that.
Yeah, and I think that, I want to agree a little bit on tone. There is a way you can assert power in a gentle way and show leadership without having to be degrading to somebody, without having to insult somebody, without having...
See, yeah, and I agree with him. There is a way to do it, but see, women don't operate like that. Women go in one extreme or the other. Women do not, like I said earlier, women don't know how to mentally regulate things for long. It has to come out in one extreme or the other. They don't see, so these women, they don't get that. Well, most women and who end up in any position where they start growing in anything, they don't get it. It's just the fucking reality. It has to be, most women, it's going to be an extreme. They don't get see men. We get how to regulate that shit. Let's rewind that what he just said. There's certain tones. See at this point you be better off, dude in the vest. You'd be better off talking to a fucking 3-year-old child and teaching him how to regulate a business than try to teach these women this shit because they don't get it.
There is a way you can assert power in a gentle way and show leadership without having to be degrading to somebody, without having to insult somebody, without having to make yourself feel better than that person.
Exactly.
And kind of going back to what we've been talking about this whole panel, the issue of control with men, right? If you're always the one that's paying for food, if you're always the one that's out working and the woman is always dependent on you to be in control, I think that the guy gets in their head that I'm always supposed to be in control, and if a woman challenges that control, well, then I'm going to judge them, and that's just where the bird
It's
bit
not
is.
about balance. It's about balance. It's not control.
I disagree.
Controlling is somebody that is so-called a bitch, or and let's just say, not all women are bitches. There are some men who are in power who act like bitches.
Yeah,
That's
true.
That's the D word. It's the D word, not the B word. It's the D word.
Now we're into something now. Because that is a very true statement. Look, this is a hard one because I was uncomfortable as I read it because the B word was designed to, as you all obviously know, to keep a woman in place. Oh, she's a B. No, she's handling her business. She's taking care of her business and she's in charge. See,
Yeah, and I agree. Oh, yeah, and yeah, I agree with them on that point. She can be in charge of that shit. You will never hear me say some shit like well, how do I say this? You will never watch me like truly degrade a woman in this shit. My point of view is women have a poor time juggling shit. So this is why you don't listen to them because the core of this is how come I can't get a man, Steve? That's the core of this whole episode is why can't I keep a man? Is it because I got a good job and I'm strong and assertive? Yes, that's exactly why. You see, that's the core of this whole segment. That's the real core of it. You see, it's not about her job because by all means, go out and make $15 million a year and girl, you just rock the girl, you rock the world. You go out there, you earn $15 million a year and you win CEO of the century. Like I hope you do. But you turn into a man when you did it. And a man don't want to be with a man. And then the next question, what up turn to a man? Because bitch, let's be real about it. Every woman wants a man who is at the top. Well, guess what? Now you are now in the top. So you are going to have a much harder time finding a man of value. All these women are going to have because this is what happens when a woman has hit a dead end in any argument. They'll never have any type of deeper explanation other than men must just do what we want because we're a woman. That's it. When the reality of it is, these bitches are relatively like Oprah Winfrey's. Well, we don't even know that because we really don't know where these bitches working up. They could just be going on here flaunting, trying to pretend that they're these strong, independent women because, see, women will do that, so they hope. See, women will, the only reason, like the main reason why a lot of women even go to college is to go find a man who's in college that's going to go out and get a good job, and she just suck his dick all up into it. You see, it's to say it could be the same thing with this. We don't even know where these bitches work. We don't know if they work. We don't know what they do for a living. So they could just be going on and say, oh, well, if I'm confident and strong and independent, these bitches could be fucking hairstylists or some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, but they went on this show to try to portray this image, hoping that a man of value is gonna see it and see them and come take them on. So we really don't even know if what they're saying is true. But if what they're saying is true, let's say they do make a lot of money and a good job, go for it. But we all know woman's nature. And what is it? What woman truly wants is a man who's better than her. But all these bitches are aging out. They're all aging out. So that window is just getting smaller and smaller to find a man who's gonna be worth anything, who's gonna treat them halfway decent and all that shit like that. That window's getting small because they aging out. On top of that, they still looking higher and higher and higher. But those higher men can keep looking lower. Because like I say all the time before, women, see, you got to understand this shit, man. I say it's a million times. At the core, women do not genuinely do, Patrice O'Neal said it. Women do not do things righteously. They don't. They just don't. They are not good creatures. They are not morally correct creatures. They try to pretend because they know this is what men want to hear, because they know men are the moral ones. Women try to pretend that shit, that they have morals and logic. They'll pretend, and they'll hold on to it for a little while until they just get too frustrated, and then her real side has to come out. But women are not naturally good, point blank, because all these women could find a man who wouldn't say that. They wouldn't all be sitting up here single mother, single mother, single mother. They wouldn't be saying if they had these, they would go out and find a man like that. Especially in America, it wouldn't be a problem. Them beta bitch men there, it wouldn't be a problem. But they can't. Because that hypergamy kicked in. Y'all remember that word, hypergamy? That hypergamy kicked in. And she can't fight that. And that's how they end up looking like this. Just look at their face. Just mad and angry. Look at that shit. Do you want to go home with some shit? Do you really want to go home? Do you really, after you get over her being like a little cute or whatever, but really look in her eyes, do you really want to sit in a car on a drive back home with a woman like this? Do you really, really, be honest with you, after you get past her being a little cute or whatever, but really look in her eyes, do you could, she looked like she getting ready to complain. If she had been at home, she'd be bitching already, and then be drinking her mimosas on the couch crying.
Like she said, the power to take it back. Just take back the power. Don't own the word. Because to own the word is still a negative connotation. It's just like the N word. Everybody trying to make it acceptable. You can make it acceptable if you want to, but if the wrong person say it to you, you ain't gonna like it as acceptable. All right, so how did the audience come down on this one right here?
Oh yeah, and also let's think about this other part, right? If she's confident, she's a bitch. All right, like I said before, there's going to be all these women have some beta dude chasing them who, I would never call her a bitch. I would never do this. And these women ain't trying to get fucked by those guys. Seriously, think about all these women. How much you want to bet? Because all these women are single. Because it went through it earlier. Single mother, single mother. Yeah, they're all single. They can't keep a man. How much you want to bet if any of these women made a dating profile in America, they'd be fucking, their inbox would be filled up. But because then, women, they just, they get online dating, everybody hit up a woman because they just want to fuck her. But it shouldn't be too hard for her to find some beta that she knows she can fucking keep down. But she don't want that. She wants, the men that are calling them bitches, the men who are openly calling them bitches are the men that they really want. Because if the man has the courage to call her a bitch, then he has the courage to be a man and be loud and be a man in the world. But she doesn't want to be called a bitch. You see, it's that weird fucking Twilight Zone shit. Because if he has the courage to do this, if he has the courage to be this, like how women be getting beat up by their man and shit like that. If he has the courage to do this, that signal to the woman, he has courage. He has enough courage, and he could be a man enough to be loud when he wants to and all this shit like that. But she really doesn't. But she doesn't want to be called. She really doesn't want to be called a bitch. But when you call him a bitch, it lets them know that you are a fucking man and you can stand up for something. So at one instance they're turned on, but the other instance they not turned on because then they got to think, in the back of their mind they think, what are my friends gonna think about this and all types of shit. So they end up in this fucking gray zone of just of soaking wet pussy and anger. They don't know what to do.
Let's come down on this one right here. 80% of women say that assertive women are still seen as the B word, whereas 22% of the guys saw it that way. So this has really been a great panel. It's the first time we've ever done this. The audience was great today. Thank you all. A great panel. And say, so how did the audience come down on this one right here? 80% of women say that assertive women are still seen as the B word, whereas 22% of the guys saw it that way. So,
well, okay, I'm gonna break down that math for you exactly. Well, one, what I always say is, women stop listening to women. Stop listening to women. But now, with 22% of men saying that, well, you also got to factor in, there's only going to be a certain type of man who's even going to go on the Steve Harvey show. All right, so you also got to factor that part in too.
So this has really been a great panel. It's the first time we've ever done this. The audience was great today. Thank you all. Thanks to the special panel for weighing in. Hey, folks, welcome.
But yeah, don't get it twisted. Like well, you guys know what I've always said from the start, man. If she wants to be a man, go be a man. Just stay the fuck away from me. So here's part 2.
Our next subject, this one right here is gonna be pretty touchy. It's about appearance. Traditionally, women are expected to look flawless, but a man's appearance doesn't matter as much. Curtis, is this double standard still true?
You know what? This double standard is still true. Men are visual. We like for our women to look nice, especially when they're out with us, even when they're around the house. We appreciate that you take the time out to look good for us. For women, I think you guys just want us to be clean, not necessarily like dressed to the T all the time. As long as we're clean, I feel like you guys are pretty cool with that.
Okay. Catherine?
So I met my boyfriend when I was wearing jeans and no makeup, and we are still together and we are still in love. And
she's the only one that's in a relationship. I know the other 3 are single, because I think the other 3 are definitely single. So she actually can keep them. Well, she's 24, so that makes sense.
When it comes to appearance, I mean, look, honestly, this is the nicest I've looked for like a year.
I'm pretty sure he's like, wow.
Thanks, Steve. What I want to put out the world is the value of who I am and my mind, okay? And if you judge me by my appearance, sorry, see you later.
It's not judging. It's not judging. It's appreciating. It's appreciating.
But here's the thing.
The effort that you're putting in to look good.
Women should not have to dress for the people around them. The woman should dress for herself because confidence is what's sexy.
It is. It's very sexy. It's always the way that you look right now, I'm pretty sure your boyfriend would appreciate if you did that more often. He would say, you know what, I don't need you to do this, but I'm appreciating the fact that you are.
Now, what about that?
You know what? I get it. I get where you're coming from, but if I don't want to put on a dress that day, I'm not going to put on a dress that day, regardless of what he wants.
We all know,
you know,
that no matter what, people are attracted to people who are looking nice. No matter what.
Pay it close attention. See, this is another thing, man. When you listen to women speak or you get into arguments with women and all this shit, always keep in mind what she looks like and her perspective on anything that has to do with anything like this. Right? Because this was I should have said it before I started playing, before they got into the conversation. Pay attention to her physical quality and her perspective on it. I don't even got to explain the rest of it.
I do have to agree with Curtis. I do believe that men or our husbands appreciate when we dress up and we look beautiful. I do it for myself. I am a confident person, but I also want to bless my husband by looking beautiful for him. We're meant to be beautiful.
Right. Yep, right.
And if that makes you happy to dress, fine, you can applaud that.
Yeah.
If you feel better dressed up like that and that makes you happy, then I'm all for it because obviously that confidence is coming out of you, right? If I'm with my girlfriend and she is just as confident in a ballroom gown as she is in a pair of sweatpants and a Houston Texans jersey, I'm a big Texans fan, That's great. I love her that way. You know, I don't expect that because I want her to be happy.
Right. Like you can, if you're confident, you can look good in anything. If you're confident,
Regardless
Yeah.
of where you're going, who you're seeing, or what you're doing, you should always dress to impress.
Wow,
Because-
my man, thank you.
Like,
Wow.
everybody
At the
judges
same
you
time, too,
based
I
on your
still,
looks. You're
you
not going to
know-
have a conversation with everybody you see, and you don't know
Yeah,
who
and
that
you
person
get
is
good
and
And
what they're going to do.
those random
with your
people
life.
that I see when I'm in sweatpants don't matter.
Well, you don't care about what they think.
Well,
I don't.
okay, if you're going down to the grocery store, don't go down there looking beat to hell. Do a little something. You ain't got to be in a formal gown or a work outfit, but at least do something in case, just in case the hunter is down at the grocery store that day.
At the water hole.
That's interesting, Steve. That's really interesting because when I met my boyfriend, I'm the one who made the move. That's interesting because
Well-
I'm the one who.
Look. hey, real quick. Did y'all catch her? Did y'all? She's thinking exactly what I'm thinking. But she's a woman, so it's that whole competition thing. But she knows the truth. See, look, pay attention. See, this is what I said. Pay attention to the physical quality and what their perspective on is going to be. See, she's not worried about it. And see, and this is going to be mean. It's going to sound mean, but let's just face it. Every woman can only be so pretty, before she's just maxed out, right? And some women just are not going to be, like the most attractive women on the planet. And some women, in my opinion, just won't be attractive at all, physically speaking. Just physically speaking. Now, she's gonna fight everything of looking of looking nice and all this shit like that. Blah 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 da da da. She's gonna fight it, right? And her and her and the other hussy are gonna are gonna promote it. So like the two lesser attractive ones are always going to be about, oh, no, it's the personality that counts. You shouldn't look at what I'm wearing and blah, blah. And the other two who know they look good, it's going to be all about them. It's going to be all about, yeah, I got to look good, girl. So we're going to go back. Hold on, we just go back real quick. Look at her face. Watch the one on the left. Watch her face when the one on the right is trying to explain it. See, this is the shit that bitches do. Because it's all about what they look like.
Really interesting because when I met my boyfriend, I'm the one who made the move. That's interesting.
Hey, look. And the one look, she's like, I bet he's probably fucking dirty and trashy and shit. That's the look in her face. Like, I bet you had to make the move because he wasn't gonna make it on you. I bet, like, I already know she is roasting her so hard in her head right now. She is roasting her bad.
I'm the one who hunted him down.
Yeah,
So,
and I certainly have friends that are women that are very attractive and take care of themselves, and they have told me straight up, when I go to a bar, I look for the guy I want.
What kind of
And they go after that guy. I mean, it depends on the person. It's not, I mean, I know what you're saying, traditionally men, but there are women out there that certainly know their value, know their beauty, and they are going to be the one doing the choosing.
What
caliber of man or woman do you want, though?
I don't think they're like most women are like blunt and walk up to a guy and say, "Hi, I would like to get to know you." They'll do little stuff like go stand next to you.
Oh yeah, walk past
Walk
you.
past
Y'all
you
know how the game go. Look, let's stop
No,
this
it's not
right
like
here.
they just
No,
walk
no, no.
up to you
Hey,
like,
hey,
"Oh,
hey,
you
let's
like
cut
this?"
this out. You know when you looking good, and there he is. You know how to go to the restroom and drop something.
Oh no.
You didn't go after him, but you went after him.
Right.
You know when you walk by looking right. You know when you got yourself together. You know when you look your best. And you went after your man. That's
and I asked for
probably
what
got a lot of.
I asked for what I wanted. I was like, want to make out, and we made out.
Oh, you went right up to him and said, "Want to make out?"
We struck up a conversation, and then
What the hell is wrong with you? Wait a minute.
I'm awesome. That's what's wrong with me.
You awesome.
Yeah.
I believe that. But just a little crazy though.
That's okay. Everyone's a little bit crazy, Steve.
Yeah, but see, quit walking up to men talking about you want to make out.
No,
I don't think she walks
we
up
had a
to every man.
conversation. We had a conversation first. I got to know him. I'm like,
You got to know him.
I like you. You
No,
want to make out?
no, you didn't know him.
No, I didn't know him. No, I
No,
didn't.
you don't know him in a the conversation.
No.
You know what we want you to know. You can't know us in 20 minutes, 30
that's
minutes.
true.
You can't know us in a year.
We can't ever know you. % of the women in this audience said yes, there's still a gender gap expectations of appearance. And 65% of men said the gap still exists. I think we all know that really in your heart. You may not feel like dressing up today, and I get it. And you shouldn't. But if you're coming over, you probably ought to. And if you're going to get your girl,
Yeah.
you should take the shower. And change your underwear. Because always remember what your mama said. Keep clean underwear on in case you had to go to the hospital. Hey, folks.
Word. That's gangster. Oh, I gotta do a review of a porn interview. But yeah. It feels like my allergies got a little better, but I still gotta go out. So yeah, I'm out of here, man. And I was mistaken. The one woman, she was actually a stay-at-home mother. But the other two, well, the other one was the hussy. The one in which one was the hussy? That she was a stay-at-home mom. This one's the hussy. That's the hussy. I just got to play a near replicant, so you play that game, you know why I'm saying hussy. But yeah, man, that's the video. Trying to see, because if you look over time, men will eventually accommodate the woman, but women don't accommodate men on their own. The only time they're gonna accommodate, well, maybe I'm using the wrong. The only time women will do things to pleasure a man is if they figure there's another woman around. All right, you can read any fucking in-depth woman's magazine or some shit like that. Woman will start to lose attraction in that man once she figures out that man can attract other women. So, like, when I talk about this topic, man, it's not to talk down about women. It's just the nature of it. Like, what? And Patrice O'Neal, I'm really into Patrice O'Neal lately because I read about how he died, man. I read about that shit. That shit was pretty crazy. It wasn't like super crazy, but it was fucked up. But I remember because he was on that skit about the fish. He said like you know, getting a woman is like getting a fish. Like you go out fishing, you know, you catch one, you know, you take it home, you show it to your friends, and then you throw it back in the water, and then you end up catching one fish that, you know, doesn't want to go back in the water. It wants to stay with you type of thing, right? But the thing is, that fish is attracted to you because that fish knows you're a fisherman. You see, and it knows that you can go out and get other fish. So if you trade in your fishing boat, that fish is going to look at you and be like, motherfucker, you ain't even got a boat. You worthless. Get the fuck away from me. And bounce on you. Like I tell you so many times, man, like my girl, she it doesn't change, man. The game doesn't change for around the world. That woman is gonna act right. The only time she's gonna act right is if she figures there's another woman who's around you or talking to you or likes you or something. When you fuck around and end up in that position where she done completely locked you down and you now have no more friends and shit like that, she will eventually lose attraction in you, stop wanting to have sex with you, and then the next step is her usually moving on to another dude, if she still can. So guys, so remember this: when a woman is acting right, because they like chill, like with a child, like when a child wants some candy or a fucking toy or some shit like that for their birthday, they gonna start acting real good because they want something. That's when they know how to act. And when they don't want anything or they already got what they wanted, they don't care. Just like children, women. That's why I say women and children. That they didn't put them two together for no reason back in the 1800s. Women and children first. Women and children on the boat. No, there's a because they the same mentally. They can't handle reality, everyday reality. Like, and you know, correction. They can't handle everyday reality and have the internal responsibility to be a decent human. They don't like, so when the dude was trying to explain, you know, when you're at work, there's a way you can, you know, show power without, you know, fucking embarrassing people and, you know, and trying to feel like you're better than other people. Women don't get that, man. They try to say they do, but they really don't. and they'll try it for a little while because they know men like to see it. But when they come, but when they get frustrated, oh, it's over. You ain't hear none of that. It ain't trying to hear none of that. So again, back to the original topic of this side rant. The only time she's gonna act right, and you gonna keep her acting right, is if there's a whisper of some other woman around. Once to your woman, once it's become clear that you've lost your street appeal to other women, once that's become clear, she's gonna lose interest. And then usually the next thing to go is the sex. And then because if there's another woman out there, and or if she just looks at you and knows you can go get another woman, oh, she's not going to that whole withholding sex and all that shit like that. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Because she knows you can go out there and get. She knows you can go out there and get something, probably something better than her. See, if you in that position, oh yeah, she'll worship the ground. She'll damn near worship the ground you walk on. Just to be honest about it. That's the only time women will act right. So you have to do it. Like it's one of them things, man. You have to be the bigger human in a relationship, and you have to do it. You have to do it. If you don't do it, like, she's going to lose respect for you. Period. She's going to. And women, I know, like, for the women watchers, they'll try to say, no, that's not. No, you will. Okay, because by biological law, you are biologically forced to act right when you want something, when it's something you want, and you figure you can lose it. You ain't gonna walk up in a Gucci store, pissing on the street, walking up there because they may not let you in that Gucci. You don't act like you got some sense when you walk in that Gucci store, because it's something rare and it's something that can go out and get something better than you. Could be somebody's better than you are, so you gonna act right. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm out of here, man. I'll probably do that next video now since my allergies are getting better. But yeah, I'm out of here. Bye.